FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
Brotherhood is required. Brotherhood is demanded. Brotherhood is obligatory.
Black man, get up. Black man, stand up. Black man, you better listen.
So there's a need for brotherhood.
Black man, get up. Black man, stand up. Black man, you better listen. Black man, get up. Black man, stand up. Black man, you better listen.
Brotherhood is demanded.
Black man, get up. Black man, stand up. Black man, you better listen.
Brotherhood is required. Brotherhood is demanded. Brotherhood is obligatory. Brotherhood is essential, it is urgent, and it is compulsory. But the time demands brotherhood. Whenever the dominant white society fears for its economic future, racial tensions are always aggravated. The aim of Almighty God is to bring the black man and woman together. The aim of Almighty God is that we, no matter how divided we have been in the past, must experience unity in order to gain the success that we seek and the progress that we desire. There is no way that a divided people can build a future. Brotherhood is required. Brotherhood is demanded. So there's a need for brotherhood. But if you walk the earth proud and arrogant, you never learn your lesson because you think you already know. And how in the hell could you know and be in the shape that we're in? How can there be any brotherhood if there's not even the honoring of a word?
Black man, get up. Black man, stand up. Black man, you better listen. Black man, get up. Black man, stand up. Black man, you better listen. Black man, get up. Black man, stand up. Black man, you better listen.
Welcome back and welcome to the second hour of the Black Agenda here on the Street 919 FM. We're going up to 9 o'clock. And just before we continue, let me say this regarding Nicki Minaj. Of course, global rap star, born in Trinidad and Tobago, made it big internationally, based in the United States. Now, of course, we would have all heard what she said regarding the COVID-19 vaccines and so on. Think on this for a moment. Because we do have an obligation to defend her whether you agree with her or not. Many of us have been caught up in these conversations about how the world is changing, and it is changing very rapidly. Starting with September 11, 2001, the terrorist attacks in New York, and there have been various transformations on how international affairs are conducted and how people are perceived, okay? But now with the modern technology and the COVID-19 pandemic, the world is continuing to change at a very rapid pace, but there are three main ways that this world has changed and is continuing to change that we're not really taking notice of at all. And the three main ways that this world has changed, particularly within the last year and a half, is one, that there has been an increased denial of freedom of thought. There has been a suppression of consciousness and a restriction of critical thinking. You may not even realize it because it's happening so slowly but surely, yet progressively and consistently, that many people are not thinking for themselves, but they're trying to find out what someone else is saying, and then whether they agree with that or not, are repeating and regurgitating and recycling content that may be false and that you yourself may not even see as logical. Many highly paid celebrities would find out what the standard narrative of the industry that is paying them is saying, and then they will simply conform in agreement to it. Nicki Minaj stated what she believed and used her freedom of expression, and then was attacked for it. We as freedom-loving people are not supposed to feel comfortable tolerating that. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is the best example, where he has always spoke the truth consistently to black people for 6 decades. He's been censored. They've tried to silence him. They've tried to ban his pages. They've tried to restrict what he has to say, and his mind just keeps getting stronger and stronger, and the power of the knowledge that he shares becomes even more effective. And so when we do see our celebrities or artists or entertainers speaking up for what they believe, especially if it is out of genuine concern for the masses, they should be defended and supported, whether you agree with them specifically or not. And finally, on the issue that she spoke about regarding the side effect of that vaccine, all I will say to you is, I mean, at first when I heard it too, I'm thinking, well, okay. But now so many people on WhatsApp, on social media, are highlighting again, not conspiracy stories and fiction from persons who are making up information. Go to the authorities, those who are making the vaccines or monitoring the progress of the vaccines, and you read the very long list of possible and potential side effects. And you might be very surprised based on what you see, considering how the world reacted. So we stand with the sister. So let me open up our lines here. And just to put things back into context, we were speaking about Cornell Glenn. And I'm going to run through very quick again what happened to Cornell Glenn, our national footballer, who represented Trinidad and Tobago in the FIFA World Cup in Germany in 2006. So very quickly, on Thursday night, based on his statement, he was arrested for breach of curfew while taking out some boxes from his own car, which was parked in his own yard. He says, the police officer told me this is not your yard. He says, I was physically and verbally assaulted My both parents, over the age of 70 years, were physically and verbally assaulted as well. My mother ended up in the hospital due to the physical assault. My family members were beaten and tased in the yard of our private residence, which the officers made a joke about in the van. The handcuffs were put on so tight that I immediately started losing feeling in my fingers and left arm. I was taken to the Carenage police station sometime between 10 and 11 p.m. in just the short pants I was wearing, barefoot and bareback. They put me in a cold concrete cell. I asked 4 officers for a phone call. I was only offered a call around 2 a.m., which I declined until later in the morning. I was not offered anything to eat or drink until 12:45 p.m. this afternoon, although a meal was dropped for me at 7 a.m. I was not given a mask to wear, and even when I was moved to different parts of the station, I requested a mask multiple times. And due to this, I was advised to self-isolate for 5 to 10 days because God alone knows who else was in those cells, so I will be unable to open my business for a week. I have given so much to this country, never once thought my most hurtful, embarrassing, and demeaning day in my life would ever happen right at home in my own yard. Then he says I will speak further on this issue at a later date. So, now remember as well, because I want to also include in the conversation for justice the fact that there have been quite a few reports of this kind of thing happening. And I remember being given an account in Chaguanas of a brother who was a private taxi driver. And he explained that, I mean, there was a situation between him and a police officer, a personal matter. And the police officer told him straight up, I will give you a ticket, or I will cause whatever trouble for you because of the personal matter. And if, when the white people gather together and have their big, massive parties and whatever, and the police cannot go in because it is stated that, well, it's private property, so the police cannot interfere, then how then can they go into poor black people's residence, private residence, and arrest them while in their own yard, going into their own car? How is that possible in this society? Let's go to the phones. First caller for the morning. Yes, I know it's been long. Caller, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah.
How are you, Brother David?
I'm good, thanks. Good morning.
You remember my situation?
Remind me.
You remember, this is Jamaica. You remember my situation?
Oh, yes.
Remember, I first on the phone in the car and called you while I was driving to the station.
Yeah.
I will listen to the whole conversation. It went live on the radio. Let me show you how David, this society will never change. It's not going to change. We clean up the system, and I keep talking over and over about the police system. Nothing is not going to get better until we change the system. Because David, you can imagine that same police officer who I went and making a report and come back and arrest me, give me about 9 cases, lost all in the court after all the damages you have done. Now, each one of those police are investigated right now for those gun license. They keep moving around from station to station. He just come acting inspector and sold over 100 licenses in less than 6 months. And he still have a job. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
They took me to an unknown location in Sealab, threw me off in the sea to drown me, and they still have a job. They still have a job, you know. And these guys still have a job. I still want to show up in court. Now they come to tell me I'm a wicked person because I should have never took the state to court.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thanks a lot, Jamaica. And yeah, that has been an illustration of, I mean, just a terrible, terrible scene. It's embarrassing for us. Thanks a lot. Caller, good morning.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Brother David, I was very, very disheartened to see how the police keep counting. I'm pretty people might know my damn name, Colonel Glenn Kong. So
Yeah. He was the one who hit the crossbar in that game against Sweden.
Just imagine if these people of Canada decide to come out, not that country decide to come out to protest about the treated hero. Or the treated hero of the Caribbean, that hero, the Caribbean too, see that hero. So that, you can say them police and them didn't know that was Colonel Glenn. To treat that man in the yard.
And then the Carenage police station. Listen, the amount of footballers that have come out of Carenage since Alvin Jones, Jovin Jones, Kaleem Highland, Kevin Molino, all of those footballers out and several more who admire Cornell Glenn, look up to him.
Oh God, we have never going back in our college. Some police didn't know that was Cornell Glenn. Look how even though they have to take him in, look how they treat that man in the yard.
You know something interesting, brother? Cornell Glenn has, I think it's his cousin. It's either his cousin or his brother, named Serrano Glenn. You know who that is?
No, I don't know.
All right. Have you ever seen the footage of Coach Terry Fennick? Remember Terry Fennick?
Yeah.
Right. The Trinidad and Tobago. He was the recently fired coach for Trinidad and Tobago. Have you ever seen the footage of Terry Fennick violently assaulting a footballer?
Yeah.
He had just scored a goal.
Yeah.
And Terry Fennick was standing on the sideline, and the Serrano Glenn scored the goal, and he was celebrating.
Yes, I remember that.
And he ran past Terry Fennick, and Terry Fennick fired an elbow.
Yes, I remember. I remember that. So that was one of them cousins.
Yes.
Yeah. I find it.
And I don't think the police ever questioned Terry Fennick for that.
Never. No, never.
Which was a violent assault.
Football, but I know that I just follow football. Never been punished much about that. That's it.
But look at what happens to Cornell Glenn.
From the Cornell, if people come out and start to talk, I will say, Professor, I will say, if you are wrong, stop it with your hand. If you can't stop it with your hand, speak out against it.
Yes, sir.
Speak out against it. Take it in your heart, it is
the weakest of faith.
Look at the imam. You know, I hear some psychophone and they say radio station. He follow political in that step and in that this, and they should do this. What matter with his statement to make that step? On the other hand, he talk out against it. What best way to that shoot it? Stay quiet. When you stay quiet, people get people saying nobody is talking for weekends. He come out and speak out against the injustice that is taking place. Or they have a problem with that? Or they have a problem with that? You can stop it with your hand if you want, but if you can talk out against it, here we can say it, I am not a we can say it. Or every time when somebody talk out against injustice, or they want to ostracize them and prosecute them, promising us about that, good citizens, I like it to play. If you talk out for your, in where you're working, if you talk for your rights. So they want to ostracize you, and these sycophants that are supporting political parties, supporting the leaders with that boy, just hear them on the radio. They want to find in a platform, it's not so to go, how to go about it. People suffering in this place, or when people talk about it, or they beg, or they not so, how to go about it. A sort of sycophant, both sides of the political fence. The wicked, evil churches are deceiving by. When a man talk for your rights, the don't like you to talk for your rights. So what to do? Stand up, stick up, to do something about, when they say don't like that, we'll stay in a corner and stick up. When they stay in a corner and stick up, they stick it down more in your throat. A politician stand up in a corner and then and tell them take a bag and put it on a stick and run it down the UNC throat. What was that? So they didn't understand national security. They start to talk out, if you talk about stadium and some talk, big what they want to people can understand. He said take a bag and put it on a stick and ram it down the throat. What was that? They not threat too. When they arrest people, boy, when a man seems wrong, he talk out against it. Or they vex, or they want to find out. What don't they go and charge him now? What? After all.
Walaikum salam. Thanks a lot, brother. Well, naturally, we would expect some kind of compensation to be given to this man, Brother Cornell Glenn, and also you cannot leave out those others who suffered the same kind of fate. Cannot leave them out as well, but some kind of compensation has to be given for this. Caller, good morning.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Yes, sir. Alhamdulillah.
Pressure. But first thing I want to say to the sister in Bartaria, but I left some information there for you.
Okay.
Last week, Friday, when Juma came down there and I left it with your wife. So the Magnus Bartaria on it.
You came down around the time of Juma?
Yes, just around Friday.
You should have came in.
It was just about to finish.
Oh. But I didn't see you.
Just something party. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I came there. I said I was just about to finish and I left it.
All right. Well, I'm going to be there this morning.
There's some more education for you there, Mr. Archer. And I leave you this week, by the way. I got it done, so I'll leave it this week. Right? You want to assistance donation and citizen antiquity. But I never want to say something before. It happened to many people in this country during this period. There's a family already who get the work in the yard. You understand? And the police went inside there behind them. It's not the first. You understand? Well, I mean, this is make the news a lot and this one because of who he is. You understand? And he could pick up with a lot of people justice, injustice, wickedness from the police. Right? I want to say something by the way. It's not me saying it. It's the BBC News reporters is saying it. That, and it's happening around the world, that the England is going to be given back to Ethiopia. Stolen artifact. And he's stolen the first written Bible, handwritten Bible that is thief after the war that they had with I think it was Tedros, which part Tedros lose the war and committed suicide. And the Ark of the Covenant, which is in the university, which is in the museum in England, people, and they never bring that forward. They have that hidden down inside it. They say that they're going to be Ethiopia. Not only in 5 years because Germany and all these places, they have to give it back, but they have to give back our truth.
They
and
have
our
to.
history. They must, and when you look at it, the last time I said something, and I don't like to go into people who don't understand what is going on. When I said that there's a monastery in Ethiopia on the highest mountain, there's no road to get up on top of there. Right? The monks live on top of there. They have an entrance to get in. And to get up there, they use goat rope and goat skin, which they let down and bring you up inside there. And when you look at the Lalibela, the 7 hewn churches, these things would have been done during a
Caller?
yes. You hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. When they have been destroying all the artifacts, all the history, the Ethiopians did things to preserve it. The 7 hewn churches, people must go and pull it up and look at it. All the history, the Benin bronze, they're giving it back to Nigeria. They must give these things back. Down in Rome, you understand, in the Vatican, they have 6 to 8 miles, you understand, of African history. The Pope just bow down to the Madonna and Child, the Black Madonna and Child, downstairs and come upstairs and preach to the white God that they give you. And I want to say something for you. There are people who will come on the program. You see the truth? They can't handle the truth, you know. Because when the truth are told, it will destroy them and destroy, you understand, the wickedness that they're doing to people. There are some people who just come on your program, particular caller. When he hears me speaking about this truth, always come to lie about that faith, the report that they give us as Jesus, you understand, and as the Holy One, you understand, the man will save us. He has come in again, but he has this program, but he has come here, because when they hear what speaking the truth, you can't hide it. You hear Brother Franklin say, you can't handle the truth. They can't handle the truth. And I want to always do what you say. Brother Franklin say they can't do it. You always say to think for yourself. Think and you see something. They want to quit it. They want to destroy our what's the name? Nikki. You understand? Think for yourself. think what they went down into Africa, they did down inside of Nigeria, when they went inside it, think what they did in the city. Think for yourself, where they went, the time that is so short. You understand that it's so much.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, same to you, my brother. Thanks so much. Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Greetings, good morning.
Thank you. You see what happened to the Haitian Prime Minister?
With whom, sorry?
The Haitian Prime Minister.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Let's move on.
But obviously a pawn in a much bigger game.
But let's sit and wait and see. Because that brings me to the conversation that you... Oh, and I also looked at, you see what's going on globally between France, America, and Australia. Australia was supposed to purchase, there was an arrangement between Australia, the US, England, and France, those four major countries, to give Australia some submarines. So France had an arrangement to build some diesel submarines from Australia. Change of government, don't know what transpired, and decide they're giving them some nuclear submarines that is going to be built most likely by the US or Britain. And France decide that, we're going on. I don't want that to do with all of this morning. Right now, this morning, there's like a global disagreement between these four fellas over that arrangement. But, so that brings me to that. Were you in Trinidad in 1990, Brother Mohammed?
I was right across the road from the Red House. I was actually taken in the action from the Hall of Justice, and I was seeing what was happening, not just hearing about it.
So you understand we had a change of government at the time because of the economic situation that Trinidad had found itself in.
But the government was already 4 years in office.
All right, but they had a change of government because of the economic situation. So they inherit basically almost the same thing this administration inherit, a broken treasury. So therefore, in order, and at that time, Neil and Marcy closed down. Everybody that had their houses across the road where Neil and Marcy assembly plant was, Toyota motor car used to be assembled right here. All of that we lost. Those same companies that used to sell Galant motor cars in Port of Spain was owned by black people. We had a bakery in town called Crown Bakery. All of that closed down around that time because of the economic situation. And we also had, as you outlined, one of the largest drug dealers in Trinidad and Tobago. Was not of my race. And there's a group of people...
None of them are of our race.
Well, the one that I know of that is pointed out and was executed by the same man, and I would always say this, executed by the same man who defended him throughout all his career until such time. And when he became Attorney General, executed him for, corroboration for murder.
Yeah.
Because I know of a man who turned witness.
One of the 19 state witness.
Right, I know one of the men who turned witness against that.
Right, who was spared.
Right. And all of that, and we ended up with that, but all of that had to do with the state of, and we had a black man running the economy, running the country. And because of 1990, Brother Mohammed, I'm not saying, and we can't compare that situation to the position that we find ourselves in, and people keep blaming like if it's the government making things hard for Trinidad and Tobago. And I looked at the cost of a container from China to America before this pandemic was $2,500. Today, it's $10,000 and $11,000. And I draw an example. Years ago, a pack of Bermuda's biscuit.
25 cents.
Aye, but what was the size of the biscuit then?
The same size as the ones that are selling for like $4 now.
The same quantity of biscuit was in the pack. But if you weigh the pack of biscuit that you would buy for 25 cents, that time, let's say it was 1 ounce.
What you talking about? The 4 Domino biscuits?
Right.
Right. Yeah. Same thing they're selling today.
Same 4 biscuits in the pack. But you would buy 4 biscuits in a pack that weigh in 1 ounce for 25 cents.
All right.
Today you would buy the same 4 biscuits weighing half of an ounce for $2. You understand what I don't tell you there?
Well, you know what? I think I've noticed that with a lot
Coffee,
of products.
A lot of items in the supermarket. In order to control the price,
yeah,
they cut down
that is very true.
Volume
the quality has gone right down, and a lot of products too.
I'm not comparing quality. Depends on if you buy top of the line product.
No, but quality as well.
The Trinidad and Tobago quality makes up half of that. But outside is a different ball game. In Trinidad and Tobago, they do it both ways, quality and quantity. And we can turn around and blame. And you see, and look, the example of the footballer. Today, there isn't a black association or a lawyer or a black association where a lawyer jump up and say, today, I am taking the state to court and those policemen to court and get this man something. And
but why does a black lawyer have to come to his defense when we have a black government who's supposed to be seeking justice for all?
Yeah, that's the problem we have.
Wait. I don't understand. No, and when I say black government,
that's why I outlined to you. It seems as though every time there's a black government in power, they seem to...
No, but any government, why should a private citizen have to seek justice, not against a criminal, not against a bandit, not against a home invasion? This is against the protective services of the state.
That's how even though the man died, that's how they win the case.
Okay, but
that whole system in that state, because of what transpired within that gentleman, the whole police system in that state changed.
Right, but put black aside. In Trinidad and Tobago,
we would like the same thing to happen here.
No, but why should any private citizen have to hire legal defense against the protective services of the country? The government themselves are supposed to step in and realize one of our citizens was wronged. We are going to compensate him for that.
It doesn't work like that because
shouldn't it work like that?
Because no, Brother Mohammed.
It shouldn't. So you're saying that it's okay for a citizen to go through all that Cornell Glenn went through, and then he has to hire legal representation against the state after all of that?
If you get in an accident with your car, does the owner, does the next person jump out and say, I wrong, here's the money automatically?
Sir, no. That you're talking about an accident. What happened on Thursday night to Cornell Glenn was not an accident. It was agents of the state, the protective services, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, who are supposed to be protecting citizens, perpetrated violent assault against an innocent citizen. You should not have to hire a lawyer to fight against the state. It wasn't criminals who broke into his home. And we can't even say it was fake police, because there's a lot of talk about fake police now. We can't even say it was fake police, because they actually took him to a police station. So the state themselves is supposed to know immediately that something is wrong with the situation. You cannot compare that to a car accident.
What I'm comparing it to is the position. What I'm saying to you is, Brother Mohammed, what the police officer did was wrong.
Yeah, but it wasn't just one of them.
No, I understand all of that, but the way you make it sound, the agents of the state.
I made it sound, they are agents of the state.
Hold on, sir.
It's the TTPS.
Yes, but they are human beings.
No. All right. Okay. All right.
That man he was trained in order to respond to that man, you know.
All right. Okay.
There's a way in which you and I know. There's a way in which police officers are trained to respond to people.
No. Okay. All right. Thank you. Keeping it cool. You're making me remember the holy month of Ramadan. Caller, good morning.
A blessed morning, Brother David.
Good morning.
You see the caller who talk about the stolen artifact. I didn't know that the African Union and the nations that they plundered these artifacts get back all. Here it was they saying all the museums in Europe will be closed down because there will be nothing to exhibit. If you was showing you.
Right.
And when in the England situation, some of the stolen artifacts, if you was showing you, see the word some, it's also in Germany and in France and all Belgium, all of them saying some of the artifacts, not all. And this is what I would plead with the African Union for, to get all, so that the museums in Europe will be closed down. If you was showing you. It's really an injustice that was done when we talk about these people invading Africa, you know. Just imagine, like, let me put out Africa like Trinidad and the land of Trinidad and Tobago. But let me just take Trinidad and, you know, Caroni, North, Caronage and all these places. And just check out what these Europeans did in Africa. I'll leave it there for the moment. But you see the situation with Colonel Glenn?
Yeah.
I want him to go the full distance with these police officers. The two of us are showing you. You see the one kill policy? They get the police the right to do citizens anything they want as a share, just as it's going on in Israel and Gaza and West Bank. Israel could do the people anything they want, at any time, because they brand them as terrorists. You know? This is an ordinary citizen of Trinidad, and he represented Trinidad and Tobago very well. If you was showing you, Brother David.
Of course.
You see, Theodore and all these, it have real footballers come from the East-West corridor, national team, in years gone by, if you was showing you.
Yep.
And they did wonderful.
And many of them have gone on to do so many great things.
Well, what I'm saying is that the emoluments or the payment for these guys when they were working too hard was a box of chicken and chips and a Coke. There wasn't even getting any financial gains. Sometimes the bus going down and they themselves had to pay the transport. If you was rushing.
You're talking about the 70s and the 80s, right?
Yeah, well, I'm telling you what is going on. So these footballers and them have not even been compensated for the hard work being done in the Trinidad and Tobago Football Association. And as I show you, Jack wanna ride on their back. They could tell me what they want. Jack wanna ride on the footballers' back. If you was showing you, and no compensation. I see the oval full out. You was showing you, and they stay in the red still. I see the stadium full out. And the cry broke and all. If you was showing. Thank you, Brother.
All right, thank you so much. Caller, good morning.
A very good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am good. Give thanks.
Yeah.
What shall I say? Can you imagine that man's mother, his parents?
Both over the age of 70.
Huh?
Both of them over the age of 70.
For that man to accomplish what he did, can you imagine the parenting, the impeccable parenting he had? All of what that woman did to bring her child to what he is today, and yet to see him handcuffed like a common thief and taken off his property, that would send anybody hospital, madhouse. I was going in the van with my son. You see what it is going on? The money that was given to him is joke to the money they have to give him now. What is that? And talking about trained, if he was white, all the training they had went out the door, they'd just mind the business and walk past straight if they see some white person, because apparently he live in a built-up area. That's why the police tell him this is not his house. What disrespect. Look, you see, you spoke of when we will open our eyes to see the changes that are going on in this world. the changes that are happening. Now, I would like to touch a bit on Capildio's speech.
Yeah, and just bear in mind one thing about Cornell Glenn. Remember, he's also a Shakonia Medal Gold Class winner.
Can you imagine?
So he's a Shakonia Medal winner. That within itself gives you merit as a citizen that is distinguished above most. Because that is the second highest state
yes.
decoration of the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
And because you're black, you go through that humiliation. Everything else went out the door because all they were seeing in front of them is a black man. That is why when the woman asked the police officer that the guy opened up a business again and he opened up a pawn shop and he said, yes, we are watching him. He blew his cover because that's all they're there to do, to watch and to monitor African people, that they mustn't rise, they mustn't have anything. But I want to commend that young man again for moving on and picking himself up, because he was running a susu and he was deemed a national threat for running a susu. There are people here who jump in boats and go on out saying they play the fishermen and doing all sorts of, all manner of crime on the sea with all sorts of drugs. There are people here who doing big imports and exports, free drink and all kind of thing, and they're dealing in drugs and guns and all, and they are not deemed a threat, but somebody running a susu is deemed as a threat. You see? But you see that Capildio speech? Capildio knew very well that nobody here is to do them anything. He knew that. But that was always their strategy. Oh, poor me. Look, they're taking advantage of me. Look, black men raping us. Give us asylum here because black men are raping us. That is what they always do. We alone work the sugar cane. Give us all the land. They always do that. He knew very well that nobody was going to do him anything here to compare anything to South Africa. He knew that. But you see, a little bit too, I would touch on with the coup.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this coup is made into this big. You actually see people changing history before your eyes. What give people right to do that? Did they ever mention that Abu Bakr lost his son as well?
Yes, his son was murdered by the police in cold blood.
Right. In cold blood.
It was his stepson, but the son of his wife's sister, Lisa Abu Bakr.
His son. He wasn't out there exchanging fire out there.
He was inside a house.
He was his
university student in Trinidad.
At his home. They went there and cold-bloodedly shut down the young man. People running, kicks in, who live in Smokey and Bunty, 5 minutes to who have more daring to leave Smokey and Bunty from Lyman to reach home before the curfew. And that is the uprising that we had so terrible. People making joke. But I tell you, I mean, there was so much going on in this country at the time. So much of upheaval with salaries and people being retrenched. And I always tell people, for me, the last straw was this monument to Jean Miles. Your country have nothing, have no money, but you taking millions and to make a monument to a woman who did what? Look, I tell you, I don't know, but it is serious what is happening here. It is serious. In this country, towards African people. You couldn't be cleaner than that young man who was handcuffed and treated like a common criminal. You couldn't be a more exemplar of a citizen than him. And yet, because of the color of his skin, straight up, you cannot say, well, you found him in anything, you find him on the road or nothing. He was in his yard. Oh, Lord, I tell you, we have to watch and see what is happening.
Yeah.
We have to open our eyes. Thank you so
Thank you so much. And Cornell Glen has played 72 games for Trinidad and Tobago. 72 matches. And scored 24 goals for Trinidad and Tobago. Caller, good morning.
Good morning to my brilliant brother.
Good morning to you.
You wrote my text voicemail last week about caregiving. You didn't hear that one.
Where would you have sent it? Which number would you?
On this number, just before the.
Oh, what, this number for this? No, I wouldn't get that.
Oh, okay, I have to use your number.
Yes.
Yeah, I was saying that you're so brilliant. Whenever you need a caregiver, think about me. I'm 73, strong as an ox.
Oh, wow.
I never knew that you would be in need. But I want to live on, I want to live on to be 100. But my heart ached this morning with this 1990 coup. My son was born on the 25th of May, 1990. Less than 3 pounds, and I remember my husband had to leave Twin City to look for a special milk for him. And it was coup time, and he did. He made up his mind, I'm going to get that milk, and he went all the way to Paji and got the milk. And my son is 31, 32 today, serving the government. I won't say in what field, but I thank, well, you should know, I thank God for him. My only son, 18 years after my daughter, who is 48, so I think I'm blessed. When I listen to your programs, I feel, I feel the need for more love. And let us all unite and get together, people. Brother Muhammad, I have 4 types of blood in me, Indian, Spanish, French, what's the other one? Indian, African. Well, I am married to a man who is part German, although he's a Trini. I really mix up with unity, and my heart breaks for people who really can't. Let's get together, people. That's my plea for today. And may God bless each and everyone listening. I am a really caring person, so I'm taking care
I can hear that in your voice.
Yeah, I'm drinking a lot of herbs every morning just to be strong for people who would need me. And I don't charge them. Whenever I go to see someone, I say, don't worry, whatever you have, give me. And it's something I would like to, and I got the court certificate.
So are you a herbalist?
No, but I'm surrounded with herbs. I'm drinking Nuni every morning. It hasn't affected me in any way.
Professor Don Jacob used to tell us about that a lot.
It is really good, but you have to know how to get it. Dr. Mohammed, I look like 40, even though I'm telling you 72. But I'm getting a little nervous now with the situation around us.
I could imagine.
Yeah. And especially being of a mysteries, but my place for unity, peace, love, happiness, everybody. I listen to this program all day, and we have all types of people calling in. I love the voices of the people, and this program really gives us a lot of things to hold on to. God bless you. But your number hard to get.
Number 332-0214. Okay, message me on that number.
All right.
And send the voice note, everything on that number, 332-0214. That is one of my own private numbers.
Right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, take care. Thank you so much.
To you and everyone listening.
Yes, you too. Good morning, caller. Are you there?
Morning, Brother David.
Yes, good morning.
What I should call you, I'm going to get quite them herbs there. I want to see you looking young enough.
Okay, you want to see me looking young?
I want to see me looking young too.
All right. How am I looking now? By the way, sorry, just didn't get that one.
No, you're looking pretty great. Pretty great.
Oh Lord, we don't laugh or cry.
Well, you gotta keep smiling. See, you're the man that keeps smiling and you're a very successful person. And I just hope the youth in society could take a page out of your book and try to take a shoes from you to walk a certain way. If they notice, I'm going to say Babylon is out here, is to destroy the youth and them. And I always say, as a man put on a uniform, he's changed. He's no longer a human being. He looks at himself as a beast. Because he tell himself this uniform give me power.
It seems to have a similar effect to someone getting elected into office.
Right.
You know, it's just like a total change.
Like a total change. I mean, to me, like when the man put on a uniform, he have no love for humanity. No more. He can't remember he used to play ball with the kids on the street. All of a sudden he has this power, this force. Because David, I have a business in Shogun and David, and right in my compound, I get a ticket for $1,000 to tell a policeman to move from the compound because he can't do the roadblock right here. This is a business place. And he go for him book and come back and hit me a ticket. Because me asked his excuse from the premises. Because I came and see a roadblock by the
There's too much of that. There's too much of this personal vindictiveness, like you disrespecting me, right? Ticket for you. You know, or you are rude to me or said something that or don't like how you looked at me, ticket for you. Too much of that.
Yeah, I have some sports car here, but I pray to drive them. Some Sundays ago, I took out my BMW and take it for a drive and take out the roof and going down the highway. So if a man on road to Shogun, I get 3 stopped by police, checking out me and checking out the car. So if you see me, let me go home back. By the time I reach in Shogun, I get the next pullover. And they see me, I go to home. Every day when I reach on my stretch, heading back home, I see a Jeep coming at that 90 miles per hour. So I step on my gas and I decide to come out in here. As I close my gate, if I'm running to the gate, you know, I must reverse back out in the room.
Wow. All right, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for that. But this is where I leave it for this morning. I'll be back on next Saturday, but you can catch me live on Facebook Wednesday evenings, 8 o'clock. On my Facebook page, Black Agenda Project or David Muhammad. And of course, you can catch me on Gael TV Sundays and Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Stay tuned to the Street 919 FM. May Almighty God Allah continue to bless you. Assalamu alaikum.
Memorial Limited, number 63 Eastern Main Road, Laventille. Internationally accredited funeral directors and embalmers. A full-service funeral home serving families of Trinidad and Tobago and internationally since 1945. At Simpson's Memorial Limited, we serve with dignity in assisting families and honoring the memory of their loved ones. Our services include